Okay, so first things first, you're gonna need to make a folder on your drive. If you haven't already, we're gonna do that right now. You also have to share it with me. So I'm gonna jump in and just share my screen with you too, so that way you can see what I'm doing and all that jazz. If you have a question or if you need to tell me something, you can do the Google chat. You can shout out and tell me to slow down or whatever I need to do. Okay, so first things first, let's just make a folder. So you're just gonna open up your drive, and you can do this along with me. Just know that you'll have to like you can hear me, so you don't need to I'll tell you when you need to watch if you need to. And if you already done this, then you're ahead of the game. Now I have a million folders. I'm just going to pick open the AP one. And so depending if you're in your drive, if you already have a million folders, the easiest thing is just to right click and then new folder. And you're just gonna title it like AP photos. Something really simple. Oh, I'm all right. In there. Oh. I have too many keyboards in front of me. AP photos. And this is where everything's gonna go. Now, what I need you to do is I need you to share this with me. So if I click inside, it's empty. There's nothing inside here. You can always add another photo, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have, like, for instance, Daniel, I need to send you your photos that I took. Well, so you have like a few, and you're not gonna use all of them. And it'll be the same thing with the photos you take. You might have like a few photos, but then you're gonna edit them, you're gonna get them to the size they need to be, and you'll need to put those somewhere else. So you might even have like another folder called finished photos. So those will be all the photos that you edited, and they're the right size that College Board will accept. So here we are, we're just in AP Photos, and you're just going to go to the share, and you're just gonna put my name in. Where am I? It doesn't matter if it's edit or view, I don't care. I just wanna be able to see them. So if I need to help you, I can see what photos you have. So you'll just share the folder with me, and then I'll be able to look into any other folder that you have or anything like that. I just realized I shared my own folder with myself. Okay, so that's first things first. Just make a folder. It's empty right now, and share it with me so I can help. Now, I do want you guys, if you have your slides open, and you obviously you're watching this one, so don't worry about it. But the second slide has all the information you really need, and we're going to go into that in just a second. But you really have to care about the size, pixels. We tend to think of our photos in inches, but when we go into manipulating them, we really need them in pixels, because that's what College Board will accept. And I'll explain it in just a second. So the third slide actually has the link. So when you click on the link, you guys should be somewhere around here, Photopea. And so I'm just gonna go quickly on like a few of the tools that you guys will use. If you have a photo you can mess with that's like just a junk photo, you can do it with me, or you can just watch. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go to File, New, and I need to like import. So let's say, actually, let's do this. I need to get a photo. Image file, whoops, open. Let's see, I think I have junk. Agenda backgrounds, here we go. I'll do our space one. Okay, so I went to File, Open, and that's how it's gonna find all of my images. Now I'm on my laptop. So if you're on your Chromebook, the only thing it can open is your drive. Like, your drive is really the only place to save anything. And so that's where you'll just kind of like try to find that folder, and that's where all your photos are gonna be. So first, the cropping tool, that's this little guy right here. No, where are you? Lasso, no. Oh, here you are. The cropping tool. It's like kind of like this little square shape. If you've used, you might have used it before, like in your regular phones. Uh, what I always suggest when you take your photos is you're gonna have some close-ups, you're gonna have some that are far away, but there's always gonna be some where there's like junk on the side. Like let's say it's a table or your glass of water, or there might be something kind of like on the edges of your photo. And so if you crop it out, you won't have to worry about like, oh man, this would be a perfect photo except for this thing. And so then once you crop it, then you're just gonna hit enter and it'll crop. Now let's say you're like, oh man, I messed up. You just go back, edit, undo, redo, it always come back. To resize, that's really like let's say you make a photo and it's the perfect photo. You don't need like very little cropping, but the size is going to be wrong. You're gonna always have to resize your images because College Board is very, very picky about the file. It's not so much what this looks like, it's actually just the file. So that's when you're gonna go to image and you're gonna go to image size. Canvas, we'll talk about that later. Image size is the actual pixels, like how many pixels this whole photo has. So what we care about is shortest side. So that is my width. I need this to be 530. Oh, 530. And wait, no, my height is my shortest size. Just kidding. This needs to be 530. 530. And this has to be 780. Now, if you notice, when I type and I like kind of press out, it messes with the number I just did. That's because of this little number. I mean, this little like locking. So when I take it off, 30, it won't mess with it anymore. And you'll notice if it's clicked, it has like that black square around it. You always want it to be unclicked. You need it to be this actual pixel size. And you'll see up here it says PX. That's what we want. We don't want inches. We want PX. DPI, we're just making sure it's 72. Then we do this, bilinear, that's okay, and okay. The picture will either get bigger or get smaller. It's just because we're manipulating the pixel range. But if it becomes really tiny, all you have to do is just like control plus or control minus, and it'll enlarge, decrease, that kind of thing. Zoom in, zoom out, basically. So that's cropping, and that's resizing. Resizing is going to be the biggest thing. And this is all in the slide. So don't think like you have to write down these numbers. They're all in the slides. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys is about color. So let me open up something else. Let's see. Download. I have any weird photos. Oh, here we go. This is the one. So here's my parents' dog, and their lamps are always very yellow. Like she's obviously kind of golden, but like the carpet is brown, the couch is gray, and those are like a navy blue, and it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look right. So what we want to do is just adjust the color. And you have to be careful. You don't want to mess with it so much that it doesn't look like your project anymore. You know, we're not a photography class, we're just sculpture. But what you're going to do is go into image and try auto color. Auto color is when this program is like, hey, we kind of know how to look for stuff. Let's just try it. You know, let's see. It might adjust it and be perfect. So I'm going to hit auto color. Nope, not enough. So I'm going to go back to image. And I'm going to go to adjustments. Now, adjustments is where I can go with brightness, contrast. I tend to stay within color balance, hue saturation, and brightness contrast. Like those three things tend to be what I tend to always use. So like if I go into hue saturation, you got to move this away. You got to see a picture. And I just kind of start messing with these channels. And I'm like, oh, this is horrific. So, okay, let's not do anything with that one. What is saturation? Okay, that's looking too grainy, that's too yellow. You know, you want it to be as true as you can. So like this isn't really gonna help me. This is changing stuff that I don't want. So I'm just gonna X out. So let me go to color balance. So this is now just using red, green, blue. And you're just bringing out some of those colors. And you can see when you go too far over, it starts to mess with the picture. It's like too red, too green. And so now this is getting a little bit more to actual true color. You know, like the couches are actually starting to look a little bit more gray. Those pillows are looking blue. I'm a little nervous about the dog because she's looking like a little too red. You kind of mess around with it. Again, it's only if you need to. And in the slides, in the YouTube video of like how to take photos, the easiest way is to go outside and make sure you're in shade. Like don't have the sun directly shining on it. If you're in a house, that's, you know, obviously that's the easiest way to do it too because you're just in your bedroom. Just know that your lights might make your picture a little yellow. And so you might want to mess with it, especially if it's not giving a true color. Like let's say you have like a light blue and because of the yellow, the photo looks kind of green. You'll have to do one of these things, kind of mess with it. You don't always have to, like especially the color, if it's coming out, like if you see it on your phone and it looks good, you're fine. You might just have to change the image size and that's really all you have to worry about. Brightness contrast, again, you just have to be careful. If you go too bright, it looks super washed out and it starts to get that grainy look to it. If you add too much contrast, you know, start to look a little bit different. So you kind of just like mess with them if you need to. Brightness contrast. When you're ready to save, so I need to change the size, image size. I have this unlocked. This, let's see, my width is 530 and my height is 780. Pixels, I need 72, perfect, okay. Oh, she's super tiny, that's okay. You know, because I can still see her. So this has the size I want, I fixed the colors, I'm not gonna crop it. This is, you know, pretend I made her. She's perfect, that's, you know, that's the whole sculpture. I'm gonna go to File and Export. Export is what you want because what's happening is you've done a few things to your photo, but you need to save it as a JPEG. You don't want it to be saved as anything weird. You know, College Board won't accept anything weird. So you just go save a JPEG. Let's see, you have it at the right size. Yep. Save. And then it's gonna download. Now for you guys, it's gonna go straight to your drive. You might need to rename it, you may not care. It might just get dropped into Drive somewhere, so you might have to like find it somewhere. So just think about that. If you have it named when it's just in here, like let's say you took all your photos, you're just dumping all of those photos into Drive and you're figuring out which one you want, you know, because you're not gonna edit every one. You know, don't take a lot, look at your best, and then just edit those. You know, don't worry about the other ones. Don't worry about deleting photos either. Just dump them all in, kind of scroll through, and then pick the one you want. And then name it. Name it so that way when you're in here, it's a lot easier to find it when it dumps it back into your drive. So saving isn't too hard. I want to show you guys how to create a collage. Tomorrow I'm going to show you how to do it on Google Slides. But if you do it here, it's a little bit easier because if you do it in Slides, you'll have to download it, then upload it to this, change the size, and then download it again. So if you do it all in one, it might just be a little bit easier. For this, you're going to go to File, New, And so let's say I'm going to call this collage 1. You don't have to do it in here. Tomorrow I'm going to show you how to do it on a Google slide, which we're all a little bit more familiar with. But if you can get it all in one shot, like I tend to try to do less steps. So I'm going to have a vertical collage. So I need my height to be 780. And my width was 530, I believe. DPI is 72, perfect. Background, it's up to you. And you don't even have to do a collage in this program either. If you love to do collages, let's say in Adobe Spark, Instagram, however you have made collages before, that's fine. You know, there's no quick or hard way of this is the only way to do it. This is just another way if you need to. Think about your background though. Like it's always going to say white. Black is also a nice background simply because you don't want to worry about how that looks. You can also have a different size too, but just be careful with the pixels. White is okay. It's just very striking. But it depends. It depends on your photo. Like if you have a white background, like let's say you're taking your photos against a white wall, white may not look bad. You know, maybe you want it to be kind of like that contrast. So I'm going to create it. It's going to be just a blank canvas. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Open in Place. Because what I've done is I've made a canvas. Even with the crisis spam calls, I made a canvas and it has nothing yet. And I don't want to, I want to kind of just like drop photos onto the canvas. I want to like size them myself. If I just open a photo, it's going to take up the whole thing. I won't be able to manipulate it. It's going to get a little odd. So I'm going to go Open in Place. And let's go with Eva. We'll throw her on there. Hey, little baby. I'm going to adjust her. Let's say she's my final sculpture. I want her to be like the big cheese. And just be aware of putting too many photos. Open in Place. Let's see what my downloads are. Oh, I have Goose. Perfect. Goose, I miss you. So Goose is too big. I need him to be small. And this is a good time to think about your process photos. Your collage is telling the story of how you built your sculpture. So let's say you want, let's say you're going to have just a lot of process photos. You know, what kind of story are you telling? Are you going to have it where you're going to show, here was how I started. I want this to be at the top. I want Eva to be lower down. I won't be able to click on my parents' dog because I'm still working with my Goose photo. So let's say I'm like, okay, I want this to be a little bit larger to see some details, maybe some mark making you've done. But now I kind of want to get this other photo out of the way. I'm going to go here down on the lower right. I'm going to click on Eva. And so now I can drag her around. Oh, not that. Edit, undo. Get my cursor, my little moving tool. And I'm going to move her over here. We'll go back up to Goose. Goose, you're over here. And Goose is still a little too big. No, not that. The marquee? No. How do I change you? Nope. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. I need to make you smaller. Let's see. Image. Transform. I want free transform though. Edit. Free transform. Here we go. Here we go. Here too big, Goose. Enter. There we go. So if you're trying to grab something and you're like, dang it, why can't I get that photo? Check your lower right corner, because that's where if it's selected, that's all you can use. If I click on Eva and let's say I'm like, you know what, she's still too big, I need to fix her, go to edit, go to free transform. That's saying like it's going to give you that marquee that kind of like you can manipulate it any way you want. Like she can be big, small, skinny, however you want it to be. And then enter, and she'll be, and then you can start like moving her all around your board. What you want to think about when you're making the collage is just where's everything going to go. The people that look at your portfolio can zoom in. So don't think, oh man, I want to put, like these pictures need to be a little bit bigger. That's okay. You know, these are just process photos. These are just like what you can use with them. It's not the final. You know, the sculpture is like, it's going to have its own like place and prestige in your portfolio. These are just maybe some like examples of you working. Maybe it's a few close-ups, some details that they wouldn't see on the larger photo that you want to highlight, that you're like, this is like, I made this and it's super cool. You just can't see it. Like maybe this is a showcase that you want to discuss it. You also don't have to have a lot of photos. I would say at most, maybe like 4, the fewest 2. You know, don't try to bombard this section. If you want to work in more of a square frame, that's fine. You know, don't worry about it. You can do a square frame. We're just going to have to look at, again, the pixels, because it can't be, as long as it's smaller than the 780, smaller than the 530, you'll be fine. It's only when it's too big, College Board is like, nope, get out of here. Another useful tool, let me go back to, let's see, maybe not Eva. Let me open another photo. Let's find something weird. Wish I should have taken photos. Oh, wait. There we go. This is what I was sending Kevin. Okay. I took this photo and you can tell it has like a shadow up here. It was laying, now you can see that my paper is kind of skewed. Sometimes when we use our camera phones, we don't know if it's like actually level and straight. There is, what is it called? A feature you can put on your camera. You have to look through your settings and it'll create a grid. So that way you can see if you're lined up correctly when you take your photo with your phone. But let's say you take it and as you're looking at it, you're like, man, this looks kind of off, looks kind of odd. What you can do is go to fix it, is you're gonna go to edit. You're gonna go to retransform again. And we're gonna do perspective. Where are you, perspective? Not these guys. Oh, here we go. Perspective. Transform. Perspective. So what's happening now is as you manipulate the photo, it'll fix it. Like let's say I thought, you know what, I want it to seem as if it's straighter, not as if it's laying on my table. You know, I can kind of mess with this until it looks correct. Until it looks like it's more like the worksheet, not so much just like laying on my table when I took the photo. And you just kind of keep messing with it until it does. And then again, hit enter and then it'll stay. This background won't show. It's going to be transparent, so don't worry about that. Or if it bothers you, you can always crop it. I tend to crop it just that way I don't have to worry about it again. If you upload a photo and it's wrong, let's say we go to the nebula and it's rotated wrong, Again, that transform is going to be the best. Rotate 90. Nope, that's not enough. I want it to rotate one more time. You can flip it horizontally. Like that. Free transform lets you control it. Transform will kind of give you these different perspectives. Don't do these other ones. Perspective is okay if it feels wonky. Warp, distort. We don't want to dazzle them with our photo. We want them to pay attention to the sculpture. So don't forget that. And that's pretty much it, guys. Again, if you have any questions, obviously come talk to me. It takes a little getting used to what I would do. And even like when we were doing this right now, I have, like I'm working on my laptop and that's what you're seeing me with. And then right below, I have my Chromebook. And so my word of advice is to have this guy open and then just go through and be like, okay, I don't need to crop and resize. I need to fix the color. Okay, what do I do? Oh, wait, auto color, okay. And then go back and then use it in here. You know, that's gonna be the easiest thing. Or let's say you're like, okay, I'm done. Which one do how do I save? Okay, here's how do I save it. Okay, what were those measurements again? Okay, they're up here. Oh, okay, I need it to be this. So even like you can see right here, if you have a landscape photo, minimum size, 480 by 480. So that's gonna be a square and that's gonna be small. Maximum, 780, 530. Same thing with if it was vertical, if it was a portrait. This whole slide is going to show you how to do it. I would suggest at least, like you for sure will have to resize and then just think about cropping, because if you have something in the photo, like you're trying not to distract the people looking at the photo. So as best you can, try to clear a space. If you go outside, put up, see if your parents have like a linen or something that they don't mind you taping to a wall and then putting on the floor. But just try, you know, as long as it's a clear area. Obviously we're going through a crisis. The College Board isn't going to look and be like, wait a second, that's a garage door. I can't believe they took their photo. We're doing as best we can, and they're going to understand that.